Hello and welcome back to FPL Double Pivot. It's time for Game Week 12 FPL matchups. As you can tell, I kind of lost my voice. There might be a reason to that. We could delve into that. Anyway, alongside me is FPL Discomfort Kieran. Kieran, how's your week been, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. A little bit busy. I late one organising and running a work event yesterday, which was good. But joys of that being in London means getting home pretty late. So yeah,
That's it,
late
mate.
one.
You've been
Now into this.
enjoying the international break?
I have. Yeah, it's been a good break. Good
Comes
to
around
see
quick, though, man. It comes
the
quick.
mighty
Do you know what I mean?
Ireland. The main topic, right? Ireland. We need to spend some time talking about Ireland, Shane. They were completely out of it. They had no right whatsoever to get to the playoffs. But then they beat Portugal. And you love a certain player at Portugal. And did you see what happened with him?
Well, the goat got a red card.
Did you see how it all went down, though?
I did see. And do you know what? Yeah,
To the Irish fans. Oh, karma's fun, isn't it?
It is, and listen, I've got a special segment tonight. We've got a great show tonight. A little bit shorter. We'll actually get it within the hour, which will be good. We'll quickly recap over game week 11, which seems like a lifetime ago. We'll talk about game week 12 teams, what we're going to do. Obviously, Gabriel's out, so what we're going to do to try and combat that. We'll do viewers Q&A. We've got a very, very special Veterans Vision. I'm pretty sure you can guess what it might be about.
Can I ask a few questions about this? Is it about Is it about like a Gaelic nation by chance?
It is.
Like Celtic.
Correct.
It is. I knew you loved Ireland. I can't wait for this. This will be great.
That's it. Do you know what I mean?
You love
Troy Parrott. Troy Parrott. What a legend, mate. What a legend. Of course, we'll talk about the team matchups and maybe the players that you need to bring into your team or take out your team. I will try my best to stumble through this with the voice I have. Again, there's a little bit of a reason on it. I'll touch on it slightly. Scotland qualified for the first time in 26 years. And Kieran, I've got a big segment lined up. Don't worry. However, was that or was that not the greatest qualifying match ever? He's already taken 4 extra seconds. Of course, it was. It was. Nobody can take that away. It was fantastic. Like you say, I'll probably let Kieran do a bit more talking today because, yeah, I done a little bit too much shouting last night. And where I'm currently skiing, we're an hour ahead. So I kind of woke some people up last night. But you know what, Kieran? I don't really care. I don't care. Right.
And I hear you now love people called Kieran more than you ever have. Like, Kieran's one of your favourite names in the world now.
Well, it was some hit. It was
yeah, it was a good header by the defender to make sure it didn't go wide to help you guys out there, right? Bit of paying off that centre back, nod that into the goal for us guys.
Yeah, do you know what? We'll touch on this. Like, it was such a roller coaster, mate. I was like 1-0 up.
Yeah, no, I look forward to this segment.
Oh, mate, it was nightmare. But anyway, we'll say hello to some people in the chat. Produce in, Claire's in, Geddy's in, the other Claire's in, Eddie's in. Thanks very much for joining. Like, comment, all that good stuff that helps with the wizards in the algorithm. But let's just crack straight into it, Kieran. What I brought up here first is we're climbing subscribers. People are watching, Kieran. People are actually liking watching me and you kind of fight about, who to bring in, who not to bring in, my Scottishness, you know what I mean? My love for McTominay, it should be the best player in the world, you know what I mean? And we're on about 750. We're trying to get to about what? We're trying to get to a K before Christmas. That would be a good Christmas present. But yeah, if you could just like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, mate. And the main thing is, it's been good, isn't it? We've been doing a lot of interaction. As you can see on the screen here, the new tension shows out with Kieran as FPL mode, Andy's in that, Gianni's in that, and Fantasy Football Hub.
Jack, Redditor Jack, good old Jack.
Yeah.
Do you know what's interesting about that? Anyone who's not watched that, and I will hold my hands up to it, this is always going to happen in any of these shows, right? There's a mistake in there. And as Johnny pointed out, someone will tell you if there's a mistake. And for anyone who's not watched it, I don't want this to be a spoiler, but you had to name the top 10 largest stadiums in the Premier League. And you want to try and get that answer that's 10th, right? You want that number 10. you don't want to go in those tension areas, and that was 11 to 14. And, unsurprisingly, Az went with the Amex. Now, Shane, do you know what the Amex is also known as?
No.
So it's known as the Farmer Stadium, FALMER, which was a tension answer worth -5 points. And it was a double point round, so it was worth -10. Now, I didn't know that, so I now know. But surely, one of two things here that we need to look into, particularly off of the back of him being involved in traitors during this international break, and being a faithful, right? But this made me question whether he was a faithful or not. What I do know is he may not be an honest man, or he may not be a Brighton fan. Because either he didn't know that the Amex was the Farmer Stadium, so he didn't say anything.
He didn't help you out, yeah.
Or he did know, and he stayed quiet to not lose another 4 points.
See, this is what we do on this show. Shots fired. Kieran shot fired.
He'll never see it. He never watches us. All he's done is watch that episode because he's on it. So I think I'm safe, unless someone clips this and it just ends up going everywhere.
Oh, I'll clip it. I'll clip it for us. Don't you worry, mate. Don't you worry. I'll now listen. If you've not seen it, I said to you, Kieran, you compared brilliantly, mate. Very, very, very good hosting. I love watching it. It was good crack as well. And you've probably got to get me on at some point. I had some answers. They were close to the tension, but
I will tell you, there's an episode in the making with 3 people involved in it at the moment.
Are they all Scottish?
We're looking for. Unfortunately, not. But
hilariously.
One of them said, "I don't mind who we get on. Ideally, someone who's not that smart." So maybe Shane, we can get you onto that. I said that. They said they were going to tell you.
Why not your first thought? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, no, you were 100% my first thought. The problem is the person I said it to doesn't want to agree with me because he is a friend of the show that's been on an episode with you. So,
so you think Shane's I'm fairly clever? I'll take that.
He doesn't want me to claim that he said you're not, right? So he's played it safe. Anyway, look, let's move on with this because we've already gone quite far. You're obviously highlighting that we're at 743, and I'll say this on here. If we do by a miracle, we won't, right? But if by some miracle, by Christmas, we hit the magical 1,000,
right?
I'll run into the sea on Boxing Day in Folkestone.
I like that. That's.
I'll be doing it for charity. It's the Boxing Day dip. I found out they do it around here, and I think, do you know what? Why not? Why not run into the water? But only if we hit 1,000 subscribers. So I don't think we will. But on the off chance we do, then that will happen.
You heard them, people. Challenge accepted. All right. Like you're saying, if you've not seen that tension episode, go and watch it. Give us a like, give us a sub, all that kind of good stuff. All right. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about what seemed like a game week ago, game week 11. Let's pick out Kieran. What was your favorite? I mean, it's hard to remember that long ago. 2 weeks is a long time. But what burst out of you? What games did you watch? I actually did catch quite a few of the games.
We'll go through this pretty quickly. But one thing I did because of how busy you've been, mate, right, is I went back to see what our predictions were, right? And again, this isn't a shot to be fired. This is something I just think is interesting to highlight because we're both guilty of it. When we're looking at the games on a Wednesday, there's lots of things that change between Wednesday and the game actually happening and by the FPL deadline. Because one game that stands out to me here was Aston Villa Bournemouth, where you were convinced Bournemouth were going to batter them 3-1. There was no question in your mind about it. And I was particularly high on this being a turning point for Aston Villa during the show. And thought, Buendia, despite not having minutes, tempter. Now, by Friday, you were now looking, or even by Thursday, actually, you then started looking into Villa assets and was going, should I get Watkins or Rodgers? So interestingly, from Wednesday night to Thursday, you did a complete 180.
No. I had Villa to win.
No, you didn't.
What? Did you watch it back? Did I say Bournemouth are going to batter them?
Yep.
Did I? Oh. I've had a nightmare.
But that's also fine. Yeah, but we'll also come on to it. You ended up bringing a Villa player into your team, right? And anyone who didn't see last week saw how disappointed you were at it not paying off, right? So again, there's nothing wrong with it, but that's what stood out to me, where I like to see that bit of result because I was confident that was a turning point for them. Bit annoyed that I didn't take an early punt on Buendia because it did feel like a fun one to go with all the minute risks. And I was DMing Marcelo about it, and he called me a man for it. So that's back-to-back weeks where I didn't get Xhaka and then I didn't get Buendia. So maybe I'll have to listen to myself before the deadline.
Mate, I'm going mental. I was like, yes. I said Villa, but I must have been going. I must have had Scotland delirium.
I also looked at the transcripts as well to check because I was skimming through like between transcript and sound, and when there were certain ones where I went, that seems like a weird result, right? I then go, let me listen to it, and on Villa you went, oh, so you're going 3-1 Villa, I'm going 3-1 Bournemouth, so we're doing reverse of each other's. I guess maybe Watkins might do something. So on Wednesday night.
Because obviously I got a Villa asset. I got Rodgers. I mean, I was frustrated because they won 4-0, wasn't it? Yeah, they won 4-0, and I was gutted because Watkins didn't get anything, didn't happen, but Rodgers didn't get anything either, which was it was a bit frustrating. But like you're saying, from our Wednesday to our Thursday, it does change, and kind of just glazing over these. West Ham came through from a little bit of test. They're maybe turning the screw a little bit. Tottenham United game was good. I did enjoy that. It was fun. And apart from that, really, it was too long ago. We've kind of purged that.
The other things I'll give you credit for, I know we'll sort of do an update on our predictions, but another thing that I can quote you. So look, we can look at the Villa one and say, you got that wrong on the show, but you did a complete 360 on it with your team, right? And you then did back it. So again, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. What you did get right on the show was you said, Forest are about to turn it on. It'll be 3-1 against Leeds. You also said Liverpool had no chance of scoring against City and City would win 3-0. So, And interestingly, we both said 3-0 Chelsea. So
yes, we did. Yeah, we got that right. Actually, got the one that I was going to say, Kieran. Everyone's now talking about a Brentford defender. I did try and say that they weren't going to be that bad. And beating Newcastle was no surprise to me. It really wasn't. Especially, we've talked about after Europe, haven't we? Newcastle after Europe are notoriously bad. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened to them. IBK in the chat we're doing. But glossing over it, mate. It's important that we keep our hand in. You know what I mean? We keep our hand into the game weeks because it changes so quickly, and week to week, we want different players, whether we want to drop them or bring them in. Or you could just listen to FPL Double Pivot. That's a lot easier. Moving over. I mean, City, kind of last thing on that is they're starting to turn the screw, and I think they'll finish above Liverpool this season, which is not what I thought. Just quickly glazing over the points. Nice, lovely big green arrow there. I was about 1.2 million. I'm now up to 764,804. So it's always good to have a green arrow. And yes, for anyone's looking, IBK's in the chat, Rodgers in the chat. Yes, I was robbed of a Rodgers assist. Maybe not according to the rules. Maybe not according to the rules.
No, but that's all that matters. No. Right, I'm bloody making a stance on this, right? Because I left you to yourself, right, for far too long last week, and you acknowledge it, and you know you're wrong, right? There's two things that need to be separated between this, right? Number one, what we think objectively, and what is in the spirit of football, and number two, the rules of the game that we've all agreed to play at the start of the season that they put an article about. Now, do I think Rodgers' pass that was marginally deflected and went to a different player is a better assist than someone taking a corner kick and aiming randomly at someone? Not so random if you're Arsenal, but for other teams. Yes. No, I think it is more of an assist, right? I agree with you. That is more of an assist. The problem is there has to be a very clear line in any fantasy or any rule-based game, right? Where you can't have subjective. So if it's outside the box, it has to be the person you've aimed for. Because otherwise there's no difference in like a keeper booting the ball long and a defender flicking it on his head and then the striker smashing it, or like the ball ricocheted. But there has to be some form of intent, right? And if you then make intent subjective, it's not. So look, unfortunately, it was quality by Rodgers, and we know that this is a turning point, and I think it's awesome that you've got him in your team already, because I think you are ahead of the curve. You're going to enjoy some points off him over the next 3 weeks. So I think he's a great pick. But did they rob you of your assist points? No. No, it's just them rules, innit? Them rules said, nah.
Yeah, no, it is. I think we're just like in the spirit of the game. Maybe they just need to either take the in the box out, the box out, or just make it a bit more in the spirit of the game. But yeah, in terms, a green arrow, 52 points, it was fairly decent. Palace came through. Not much in the way of midfield again, but Saka came through again, finally. Eze was a little bit unlucky. Yao Pedro, by the way, everyone's moving off him, and I brought him in. People were getting rid of him before Burnley, which was insane. Anyway, in general,
it's your defence as well, mate. It's your defence.
Yeah, well, the three subs that I made is I had Chalobah, Rodgers, and Pedro for Porro. Oh, I can't think off the top of my head. Porro, but I brought Rodgers in, and Yao Pedro for like my second rubbish striker. So it was good. They paid off straight away, and yeah, it was decent. I think, like you were saying there, that's the main thing for me this season. I feel like I'm on the ball in terms of the eye test, and I'm ahead of the curve in a lot of areas. A lot of people have been moving to kind of my players for for a lot of the season, which is good. I'm not scrambling to get players, which is always good. So green arrow. One green arrow onto a different green arrow is yourself, mate. Up to 47k. And
I see why you were asking exactly what it is, because you were going to put the 0, 0, 0 at the end.
So you're about 47k.
Well, no, it's like 47,024 if you wanted the exact number.
Oh, so if we round it, it's 47k. Yeah.
I am way too lazy. That it's way easier to write 47 and the letter K than it is to do comma 0 2. I don't get, because also then someone will look at it, and I don't know if you look at this as well on the FPL app, but like you have an overall score or rank, and you have your game week 1 rank, and but I started playing in game week 1, so why are they different by 3 positions? I don't know. So, yeah, weird. So, I never know which one to quote. So, yeah, round it up. Nothing to write home about in my team. Vortamada got his assist. That was it, right? Saka got his points. That's literally it. Like, the double Palace defence that I've been on from the start did well. I picked the right defender in goalie in Dubravka over Petrovic by a point. Screens cut off. Mukiele did get 4 points, I believe, so missed the trick there, but I was never starting him. Arsenal clean sheet, wipeout was whatever. If anything, if Gabriel doesn't score, a lot of people had double Arsenal defence, so it was kind of fine. Gabriel's the shield, right? Or was the shield in my team for the Arsenal defence. He's only returned once in the 4 weeks I've owned him, so he's on the chopping block. Semenyo, honestly, I'm not too fussed about. Like the fact that I like their fixtures for the next 4 game weeks. Kluivert's apparently got a knock, so Semenyo's secure. He's also just proposed to his missus, so he's going to be on cloud 9.
Yeah,
like he's inevitably going to get a goal and a yellow card on the weekend, right? Something like that's going to happen because he should be on pens and like he'll be buzzing. So yeah, look, chopping block for me immediately was Vortamada and Eza. I've got, I want to say 2 free transfers. So probably get used, maybe one of them rolls because there's a few different things I'm looking at. But nothing, it was a good week to have a bad week. So I was above average and moved up by like 8,000 positions or 12,000 or something like that. I've been sitting between 40k and 60, 70k for the last 4 weeks. So just bouncing up and down.
Mate, it's good. It's good. Mate, the rank's fantastic. And hey, and still the number 1 content creator, or the highest rated.
There's an update on that.
Creator.
FPL Game Week. FPL Game Week responded to me, my DM on Twitter, where I was like, hey, mate, how do I actually become in your league? Because I thought I was, and it turns out I only am if I look at your website, but for everyone else, I'm not. And he asked if I produce any content outside of my Twitter page, which, if you look at my Twitter page, you'll see all of these videos. But I did direct him to the channel. So, look, fingers crossed, I might officially be in there and we can claim it officially rather than unofficially. Because I heard FPL Focal and FPL Juice yesterday say how FPL Fella's the number 1 ranked person. And I was
did he? Let me just write that down. Focal said FPL Fella. Okay, set. I'll get that clip. You're having a good season, mate. It's good.
I'm calling out everyone here as Focal. Bring it on. Come on, boys.
I know, yeah. Shots fired. It's what we do on this pod. Do you know what I mean? We hold everyone right.
I think they're both going to be at FPL meets on in December as well, so I need to be careful about what I say.
So they might team up on you, is what you're saying. You might get both barrels, mate. That's okay.
Hey, we might get more subscribers if I'm getting double teamed by Foco and Az. Pause.
Pause for effect, and then. Okay, that's kind of chopped off. Game week 1-0. That's not ideal. That's the score before. We always do our predictions. Okay, I was leading. Don't want to go on about it, but I was leading. And if we go to game week 11, he's extended that lead. Probably the best week I've had, actually, Kieran. 3 correct scores. I only got 1 correct prediction though, and you got 4, so it did even out. I think I got 55 and you got 35, so extended by 20, but correct score is 15 points, so it's not really that big. I mean, at least I'm beating you on something for once. So.
Oh, there is something else I want to highlight before we move on, right? So right now I am enjoying a lovely whiskey, and this is courtesy from Above Average for beating Baker last month. Again, pause after saying that I beat Baker, because the next thing I was going to say is he dropped it off round at my house personally, which was nice. Very good to see him. Doesn't live far from me. So, when I was working from home, he stopped by and delivered it. And then something else came in the mail. And honestly, I wasn't aware of this. I hadn't been paying attention. But I'm in possession of something that no one else owns this one. And very few people in the world own one. And this is I'm
excited.
Above Average FPL Manager of the Month for October this season. So I've got a poker chip, mate, for a Manager of the Month. So whilst I didn't win the FPL Juice shirt, I do have something. Well, 2 things. So massive shout out to them and their league, and anyone, if you're in a weird world where you don't follow them or you're not part of their Discord, theirs is the best Discord to be part of, right? Because if you're part of the league, then if you beat Baker during a month, you go into a draw to win a bottle of whiskey. And they also just do fun games throughout it. They do FPL Blackjack, where you pick players and hope their score adds up to 21 during the game week. They do Last Man Standing, a few other things. So definitely join their Discord channel, because not only do they do great content, but you can win stuff.
That's it. Gary from FPL Podcast is in. Gary, how you doing, mate? He said he dropped something else off for you, Kieran. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, this, right?
But
this.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you did get it. So you did get it. So Broadshed can't beat a free whiskey. And can I just clarify, Kieran? Obviously, it's from the boys at Above Average. Is that a Scottish whiskey?
No. Ugh. I'll tell you where it is from.
Here we go.
So I think it's a brand that they know personally. It's called... No, that's not what it's called. I'd have to check, to be honest. The bottle's downstairs.
I was just trying to get Scott. And basically, I'm going on about Scotland all night, and slightly a little bit of FPL, but any opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is, right? This is a Scottish one. Not a good Scottish one, it's a fine Scottish one.
They're all fine. Hey, I'll let you into secret. They're all fine.
We got this as well behind here, which is an old classic thing that you'll appreciate.
Big fan. I love that bottle as well.
Antique. Yeah. So look, we're supporting it, and look, I'm wearing pajama bottoms that are almost Scottish. So there you go, mate.
Oh my God, Kieran is morphing into the Scotsman right before our eyes.
Let's not get that far.
Lucky guy. Right. Okay. You don't have. There's no Discomfort Zone this week because the Veteran Zone. It's probably long enough for us both. Just clear my throat. Okay. So as you might be aware, there was a game. There was a certain game the other night. And yes, it was to do with Scotland. And it's not really about FPL, but I don't care because Scotland, for the first time in 26 years, qualified for a World Cup. Now, we didn't just qualify for a World Cup. We beat a fantastic team. And in the process, we scored 3 fantastic, amazing goals. One was a halfway line. One was an overhead screaming kick from Scott McTominay. I'll be honest, that's the kind of goals he scores now. That's what he does. And I'm so glad he's away from Man United to just get free and show and showcase what he can do. Now, as I was saying, 26 years ago, I was sitting as a boy of 11, just like this on the screen. I was watching the opening game for 1998, Brazil versus Scotland, which we lost 2-1. After a John Collins goal or a penalty, it made it 1-1. We were hanging on. We were hanging on for a point against Brazil, and then bam, 93rd minute, Tom Boyd, own goal. But as I say, 26 years ago, 26 years of hurt has come, but not anymore. Nay, any longer. And as is on the screen now, it's nay bother. We're going to the World Cup. We're going to USA, Canada, Mexico. We will be there. And yes, some people go, oh, the Whipping Boys have qualified. I don't care. We got there. For us, that is winning the World Cup. Yeah, as Proj says on there, Kieran Tierney even forgot about his goal. 93rd minute screamer to send Hampden into absolute ecstasy. And with this, I can finish off on this saying, aye, fight and you may die. Run and you'll live at least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this to that for one chance? Just one chance to come back here and tell our enemies that they can take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. And with that, that's the end of Veterans Vision. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed the game last night, because you could probably tell I've got no voice left, no throat left. I don't care, Kieran. I don't care. We're going. We'll see England there. And do you know what? I hope we get you in the group. I hope we get you. Bring it on. Let's go.
Oh, so you can park the bus again for another 0-0.
A 0-0 for us is a win, by the way. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's all you play for every time you play it. Look, fair play to Scotland. I will say it. Now, I'm saying that because you will never. I don't know why we say that, right? Because you'll never find a Scottish person happy when England achieve anything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But right, come on. I mean, I know. I get the whole.
You're the little brothers, right? In fact, you're not the little brothers because the little brothers are cute, right? And
I'll take it. Go on.
You do, but you're not the little brothers. You're kind of the racist grandfathers, right? That oh, I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe you just done that. But like, you're kind of sweet and adorable, and we kind of hope you do well, but you're never really a threat of doing anything too dangerous.
Wow, that's all I've got to say about that. Wow, but right, I get the whole.
Well, I will say quickly moving on. So number one, congratulations to Ireland, because that was a way bigger turnaround of events. Scotland, incredible achievement though, because Scotland don't have many players to pick from in reality, right? It is a small pool of players. Other shout outs to Curacao, smallest nation ever to qualify for the World Cup.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
Again, showing maybe not the highest quality for the World Cup that we're going to have. Scotland. But Curacao, interestingly, and I wasn't aware of this. So, do you know, like, those islands were like the Netherlands Antilles, like Curacao, etc. Right? For some reason, CONCACAF didn't allow dual nationality people to play for them, and it's a 160,000 population country. I think even less than that, right? So that's why they were never on the scene. But a number of years back, it became possible. So the majority of their starting 11 are all Dutch players, or players born in the Netherlands that are dual nationality. And obviously their coach is Dick Advocaat. Don't know if you saw the headline, but he signed a contract that's for longer. So the headline by the Curacao official Twitter profile was Dick Extends. Well played. But no, shout out to them as well. And look, the final thing I'll say about Scotland and hopefully Ireland making it over to the World Cup in North America and Wales is Coppertone, Supergoop, Neutrogena, Sunbum, and Elta MD are 6 companies or 5 companies rather, that you should be looking to put about 10% of your investments over the next 12 months into. They are the leading providers of sun cream, particularly high factor ratings, 50 plus. And you should be able to turn around quite a bit of profit. So yeah, just we don't give financial advice on here, but do keep an eye on the stock prices of those companies.
Right, just to finish off, I'll have the last word on Scotland, by the way. And yeah, listen, I get the whole rivalry, right? But genuinely, I don't think there's a better qualifying game ever. And I thought we'd done the Scottish thing off. We've got one ahead, and then we just literally put about all of our players in the box, but just didn't really mark anybody, which, funnily enough, doesn't really work. You need to be a bit proactive, and you can't just sit back. So, we're ahead. Then they peg us back. Then they go down to 10 men. Yes, we've got a chance. 2-1 up. Here we go. 4 minutes later, Dorgu, unmarked, back stick, 9 people in the box. What are we doing? 2-2. He just brings 3. He brings 2 strikers on and Kieran Tierney. 93rd minute. I don't know who that Denmark player is who passed the ball to Tierney, but whoever it was, thank you very much. Tierney, he's probably played about 2 minutes of football for the past 2 years, something like that. You'll know as an Arsenal fan. And what a finish. And then last minute, I say last minute, there was 95 minutes and it went to 98. And Kenny McLean just went, do you know what? I'm going to finish this. Halfway line, Schmeichel, bye-bye. Running back, almost jumped into the net. Genuinely, even though I wasn't there, and because I'm away skiing, I would have been there. I would have taken my little boy. But even watching it was fantastic enough. And like I'm saying, Kieran, we're going. A generation, my son will actually know what it means to have Scotland in a World Cup. And like you're saying on there, Scott McTominay, nay bother. That's what he does, mate. Final thing I'll say on this. See if that was Yamal, if that was Messi, if that was Ronaldo. I mean, it was pretty much like his Juventus overhead kick. Everyone goes mental. But because that's Scott McTominay, he doesn't get as many plaudits as he should have got. Anywho, that's enough on Scotland. Oh, I think we're off Scotland now, except me. I will keep discussing it tonight. Okay, right. Let's talk about game week. Let's talk about game week 12. Play along if you're on the chat. If you're watching it back, again, put your predictions, put your scores in there, and yeah, we'll keep a track of what we're going to get. Right. Well, I'm setting up a piece of paper, Kieran. Burnley, Chelsea, early kickoff on Saturday. We've got a little bit more time to sort our teams, which is good because I'm kind of in a bit of a pickle with my teams as we come on to. What are you going for Burnley, Chelsea, mate?
Oh, I've got to think football now.
I know. After all that.
After listening to you have your moment, which, you're entitled to.
Oh, Combs just said Hoyland passed to Tierney. Oh, thank you, Hoyland. And thank you, Belarus, by the way, for drawing with Denmark. Anyway, continue, Kieran. Burnley, Chelsea.
So Burnley aren't...
Oh, I'm a bit...
Burnley aren't really mugs at home, right? I think that's where...
No, they're not.
People are quick to forget and assume things about them. Like, Burnley didn't lose a game at home the whole way during the Championship, and they did pretty well to start the season. If I'm not mistaken, I think the only home games they've lost were against Liverpool and Arsenal, and that was 1-0 and 2-0. And I'd kind of expect Chelsea to sit in between those two teams. So I can't really go 1.5-0, but I think I'll go 2-1 Chelsea.
Well, 2-1 Chelsea. Okay. Early kickoff, I think it's going to be a bit dour. I mean, early kickoff last week or before the national break was Tottenham United, and it was a bit of a humdinger, if you will. It was a little 2-2. Always a Desmond in there, Kieran. Always a Desmond.
Right, but it wasn't right. It was a super, super boring game for like 70 minutes. Like, it was
finished.
Dire. Good 5 minutes. Or if anything, really, if you are either manager, awful 5 minutes. Awful 5 minutes. Like, how would you concede to 10 men? Like,
at home. Yeah.
How do you celebrate a winner? How do you come back, celebrate a winner, and then concede to 10 men? Like, it's just... So for both teams, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, it was good from a fan perspective, but I left the house at 1-0 because I just went, well, it's done. I predicted 1-0, it's done. What a boring game. I'm glad there were at least 2 goals in it. And by the time I got from my front door to the car, it was 2-2. And I'm like, what? So
Yeah, I think so. You've gone for 2-1. Geddy's gone 3-1, which is close. Colm's gone for 3-0. So yeah, fairly close. Like Prod just put in there, it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea play with the Barca game on Tuesday. Will they rest a few?
oh yeah,
Possibly.
they'll definitely rest
They
a
might
few.
do.
Like I don't think Enzo will play. I think it'd be silly
Yeah,
for
and that's the thing.
Enzo to play.
It might make it a bit different. I think for me, I still don't think. I mean, Chelsea are still a little bit susceptible at the back. But I go 1-0 Chelsea. 1-0 Chelsea. I think it'd be one. I think it'd be close. And 1-0, they'll just get enough. Burnley have decent at home, let's say. Okay, right. It's next on to me. Bournemouth, West Ham. I'll be very careful in what I'm saying this week because I can't believe that I said Bournemouth were going to beat Aston Villa when I got an Aston Villa player in. So, yeah, that's a nightmare. Bournemouth, listen, like you're saying, Clivert looks like he's out. Bournemouth are completely different at home and away, a little bit like Brighton, a lot better at home. Home to a West Ham team that have maybe turned the tide with the 3-2 win over Burnley. I think it'll be close. I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I think West Ham will grind it out, and I'll go for a 1-1. A little bit of a shock, but I'll go 1-1.
So I'm going to make I want to see this back and see how accurate I can call this game, right? Because it is one that I think is quite an interesting one. I think West Ham start slow.
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth get a goal in like the first 20 minutes. And then we have a lull at 1-0 until like the 65th minute. And then the game will open up. And I think it will open up to an extent where we'll see like 3 goals from the 60th minute till the end of the game, like the 65th minute.
I like the sound of this.
Whether I see it being 3 or 4 goals. I think I'm going to go, I'm tempted to say 3-2 Bournemouth, but I'm going to go 3-1 Bournemouth.
Yeah, most people agree. Oh, calm. Oh, talk to me, calm. We're both gone 1-1. We've got a little half Desmond in there. CH has gone good. CH, he's gone 2-1 Bournemouth. Geddy's gone 3-1 Bournemouth. Proger's gone 2-0. Would you go 2-1, didn't you?
3-1.
3-1, sorry. 3-1. Okay, right. Brighton, your favourite team. They're playing your favourite team, Brentford at home. What are you thinking? Brentford got a chance?
No.
Don't even give me that. Don't give me that. You're thinking in your head, well, actually, might be a tough to break down away from.
No, I don't think it will. I think it'll be the opposite. I think Brentford away from home are bad. Really bad.
They're not as good, yeah. Yeah, they're not as good.
Yeah, they're 13-10 goals away from home. I think it's more a case of Brentford start bad at home and they're playing catch up in the game. And I think Brighton, after a break and in front of the crowd, arguably will start quite quick. That I think they'll get into like a 2-goal lead type of situation. 2-0, 2-1. We'll call it 2-1. I think they'll hold on for a 2-1 victory after going like a couple of goals up. I think there are routes to just exploit that Brentford team. I know everyone's looking at Minter again, and to be honest, maybe not for this game, but in the world where people are looking at defenders, Van Heck is an interesting pick. Because like Van Heck is someone who's pretty cheap. Brighton have decent fixtures. He's good for DEFCON. He's that target man from set pieces as well. So it's all the things we were saying, right? Where if we think they've got a chance of clean sheets for a couple of games, and he's got a good chance of DEFCON, and he's the target man from set pieces, so he's got goal threat. It's the trifecta we're hoping for, and you tend to spike that. You tend to spike all 3 of them during that sort of 3 or 4 game fixture run where you're giving yourself the best chance to. So it wouldn't surprise me if Van Hecker did well over like the next 3 or 4 games.
So what are you going for?
2-1 Brighton.
Stand a little 2-1. I mean, they do score a lot, but they do concede a lot at home. Do you know what I'm going for? And I think I put up there. Roger's gone for a little Desmond. Colm's gone 2-0 Brighton. Eddie's gone 2-0 Brighton. But there's a little comment in here, and I agree with Proj. Brighton never do well when you expect them to. Now, listen, Brighton are a good team. They're a lot better attacking than they are defending, all right? Like I'm saying, they always score, but they always concede. And for a while now, even though they've got a good home record, I think this could be the game where people actually think, do I really trust Brighton? So I think with a little bit of the form of Thiago, I don't think it's going to go as smooth as many people think at the Amex. The question is, do I go a draw or do I go a win for Brentford? That's a difficult one. But I am. I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford. How do you like those apples? Right, next is...
I'm going to confidently say that you're wrong. And we can listen back to this next week.
Oh, we can. I would love... Kevin Keegan, I would love it if Brentford do it as well. Okay, Fulham, Sunderland, it's on me next. I've already previewed this, kind of, even before the weekend, after the fixtures last week. Fulham, people are seeing the slipping down that slippery slope. Marco Silva is getting sniffed around a little bit. The squad is threadbare. It's old. It's a championship squad. Okay, the strikers are coming back a little bit, but they don't really have much. They're playing Sunderland next. Okay, Sunderland away, but they're still a very, very good team. And now we've adapted, just like we do on the fixture decoder on Friday. Look out for that. We've adapted, and we know Sunderland are a good team. I don't see anything else here than the Sunderland win. How comfortable? That's a question. I go for another very, very good display. I go for 2-0 Sunderland.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think something that's quite interesting, right, is the league table at the moment is so interesting to look at.
Yeah.
And I say interesting because you've got Wolves on 2 points, right? And then you've got to jump up to Forest, who are on 9 points. And then you've got 6 clubs in the 9 to 12 point range. So Forest to Newcastle, there's 6 clubs there. Then you've got Spurs sitting on 18 points, right? Sunderland sitting on 19. From Sunderland to Brentford is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 positions. And there's 3 points separating 9th to 4th at the moment. So sometimes when we look at the league table, we go, oh, they're in 12th place. Yeah, they're on like 1 point behind the team that's in 4th place. Like you can't jump that many right now, right? Because it would need all of the teams to lose, etc.
Yeah,
but
and it depends who they've played. It depends who they've played up till now, yeah.
Exactly, it's so misleading. Like the biggest points gaps at any point here is Wolves to Forest and Arsenal to City. And Arsenal aren't that far ahead of City, right? Like City on 22, very good position for them.
Yeah.
So I think interesting development here. So yeah, apologies to went a bit off topic there, which is something interesting that I looked at during the international break and went, people are really shocked by where teams are ranked, but like if they lose 2 games, they'll drop like 10 places. So just chill. And like Villa in particular being 6. I do agree with you on this Fulham one though. I think Sunderland are, people say how good Sunderland are at home, but they're not bad away from home. They set up away from home more so to not concede.
Yeah,
and I think you're spot on there that they'll kind of set up that way. That I think it's a 0-0 or a 1-0. I'll go with 1-0 Sunderland.
1-0 Sunderland. Cool. Yeah, everyone in the chat is gone. Eddie's gone 2-1 Sunderland. Geddy's gone 3-1. Colm's put a good point in here. There's no Lukic, which I think is pretty big because they're not very blessed in that DM position. That, you know, once one's out or Lukic is out, which usually is a yellow card or a red card because he seems to get one every single game week. They've got a championship squad. Although Com said he's unsubscribed again, so hopefully he comes back. Come back, Com. I'm sorry. It's not looking good for Fulham, but yeah, go for Sunderland win. Okay, and do you know what I like about this weekend again, Kieran? We've come back with a bang. There's an early kickoff, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3 o'clock kickoffs. I love to see it. Liverpool Forest, which is a more interesting one than I think people realise. What are you thinking for this, man?
2-0 Liverpool.
That quick, that easy.
Yeah, Forest are definitely improving, but Liverpool need to win, and Forest still aren't great scoring wise away from home at Anfield when Liverpool need to bounce back. They're good defensively. I can see why people are tempted by Virgil van Dijk. I'm not necessarily saying it's where I'm looking, but I can see it. And I just think it's still going to take time. Like Forest will focus on winning the easier games rather than these ones. It'll be a big game for them. They'll go for it. But yeah, just a 2-0 Liverpool for me.
2-0 Liverpool, eh? See, I don't like the Van Dijk pick really. I get the Gabriel, right? I know he's injured. It looks like he's got for a wee while. I mean, you could probably weigh in on this. I mean, how long does it looking likely he's out for, or if they're not really
Couple of
given a
months.
time frame?
It'll be
Couple of
1
months.
to 2 months. Yeah. He'll be gone for like 6 game weeks, 7 game weeks. He's a transfer out. He is a transfer out, but he's
he just dropped value.
Not necessarily an urgent transfer out. And by that I mean it depends on the price you bought him at. A lot of people I know bought him at 8.1, 6.1, and he's 6.6. So you can take a price drop before it impacts your selling price. So
it
is worth giving yourself time.
Yeah, we're not that tight for value, really, just now, are we? Not overly, not 0.1. I don't think it's enough to worry about anyway, but I don't really get up until now, Kieran. Like, we've seen that Liverpool aren't a good defence. So I don't really understand why I get people are trying to replace a premium priced asset with another one. But if they're not keeping clean sheets and he's not getting any attacking returns to go with them,
right, but
he's not value for his price. He's not value
for
his price.
But I kind of say I disagree with you on it slightly, right? In as far as they are keeping clean sheets at home against Villa, against Arsenal, etc. He is getting some DEFCON, and the fixtures and the teams he's playing will increase it with them being more long ball target men type of approaches. When you're looking at Forest, quite often they're going to be playing it up long and trying to knock it down. So it gives him that opportunity. And debatably, he scored against Man City. Now, whether or not the goal counted is another thing, but the threat is still there, right? So that's why I'd respectfully disagree. I think if there is a time to punt on Van Dijk and justify his price point, then it's now for like a 3-4 game week run. I think it is a good opportunity to get into it, but I don't think he's someone that you should then be tied into and see as a set and forget the same way that we do Gabriel. I think you can just use him to come in whilst Gabriel's out for a while. Then if you realise that Piero Hincapié is starting for Arsenal as the left back, or Calafiori moves into the centre back, and you have a bit more certainty in who that Arsenal defender is, you can then move over to that person in the interim. So I don't think it's a bad option, because I think the price is okay for the fixture run. So yeah, anyway, what are you predicting the score to be? I imagine you're going to be saying like a 2-1 or a 2-all, right? Which is why you're also not interested in him.
Yeah, I mean, I think they concede. And okay, all right, he could score. I get the whole, right, okay, he had a little bit of an attacking threat, and it's fine. Do you know what? I quite like that he scored last week and he got chopped off. I mean, let's be honest about this. Rightfully, he got chopped off because Robertson's standing right in front of the keeper and he has to duck. I know people looked at like a previous goal. It wasn't even the same situation. So I'm surprised that people are even talking about that. Either way, let's not get this twisted. City battered Liverpool. It could have been more than 3. And I just don't get this whole thing of, people looking at Konate the other week. Don't get it. He's not been good all season. Why would we? Robertson, I don't want to slate him. He had a fantastic game the other day. He did play okay, but in pockets he didn't. He got ripped apart. If you're gonna play Robertson at left back, or and then Kerkez across the way, they've not been that good this year. You put Konate in there, so Van Dijk's kind of on his own, and we've seen they concede goals. For me, Forest have scored 5 and 2. Okay, maybe slightly lesser, but they still scored 2 against United, 3 against Leeds, all right? Yeah, it's a good point you put that on there, right? A clean versus Madrid, and Madrid were poor in that game. It doesn't matter. They still beat Madrid and they still kept it clean. That's great, but it's one game. It's one game. And you've seen people got burnt the other day when they thought, I might get Konate in. And then they realised against City, they've been rubbish all season defensively. So I just have to weigh up if I think it's going to be a draw or a draw or a close win for Liverpool. They are at Anfield, which does make a difference. But for me, no. This is my Desi, mate. This is my 2-2. It's big, mate. This is my Desi. I think people are they're trying to shoehorn a player into their team, like Van Dijk. You want a Liverpool asset. I get it. People were on about Soboslai the other day. And I get, all right, and one game he played all right and he got some points? I think it's insane. Any hooser. Wolves, Palace. It's on me to go first. Listen, this one's pretty set. I think it'll be closer than what people realise because Palace, they've got a few injuries. This is what we said a wee while ago. They've only got a bit of a smaller squad than the bigger teams, and it's starting to take effect. They do have Europe midweek as well, don't they? So they need to keep a little bit eye on that with injuries. I think it's a bit closer. I actually think Wolves score. I do. But I think Palace have too much. I'm going to go 3-1 Palace.
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
Wolves are just
about time
bad,
they conceded. Yeah, they are bad. I just feel like, Strand Larson does have quality. He does have quality. Yeah. What are you thinking, mate? It's not
well, I guess
close.
one thing is, like, you're right. Like, it's a harder game for Palace midweek. They're travelling away to Strasbourg, who have been pretty decent in Europe at the moment. And then they've got Man U afterwards, right? So they will be looking to win this game. I'd agree with you. They probably will concede. It's boring, but we both went the same for the Chelsea game last week, and we were both right on it. And I think I'm going the same with you this week. I think I'm going 3-1 Palace as well, yeah.
3-1 Palace. Geddy's put in there 3-0. Wolves are effing terrible. Yeah, I do agree. CH has gone close to us. He's gone 2-1 Palace. And Proj has gone 3-0 Palace. So, yeah, we still think, even though they're a bit tired, they'll still manage to get through. Right, throw it back to you. Newcastle City. This is a difficult one. What do you think?
Well, it's difficult if you listen to FPL Nightmare or if you think, right?
They're all getting it from Kieran. They're all getting it. He's coming for them all.
None of them are watching us, so I feel safe and secure.
The Nightmare. By the way, if you've not seen Steve-O, by the way, go and watch his video he does. It's The Nightmare. It's fantastic. I'm the Nightmare. What are you thinking for this? I can't do it with his voice. What are you thinking for this game, man?
I think for this one, like, Newcastle are Jekyll and Hyde, right? Where they can turn up and they can be great, or they can lose to Brentford, right? And it depends which one turns up. I think their defence can't really be trusted. So that is where I disagree with Andrew on. I don't think their defence is ever going to be an option. But I also think they are no pushover, and I think they thrive on games like this, particularly at St James's Park. The fans live for this moment. The players live for these moments. This is what the whole thing was about, right? Of getting the investment, playing Champions League nights, and having fixtures like this as well. So I think they're going to be so up for it. And it'll be a question of how up for it are City when Haaland's been getting drunk celebrating Norway making the World Cup. I see why people are tempted to not captain Haaland this week. Do you know what? This is it. This is one of the game week. This is my Desi. It's the Desi. It's the 2-2.
See, I'm quite opposite. And again, I have to respectfully disagree. Newcastle in the last two games, guess how many goals they've conceded? 6. To the so-called lesser teams of Brentford and West Ham. Now, I know their defence, I agree with you. If you listen to, like Com's put on the screen there, the vermin off of the back line of Newcastle. Yeah, I wouldn't be getting a Newcastle defender in. I certainly wouldn't be playing him at the weekend. For me, City are starting to put things together now. They're starting to click. And I think Newcastle, okay, they might not be on the end of a hiding. St James's Park is a difficult place to go. It was set up well. But they've got Marseille midweek. I'm just checking there. Marseille midweek, who are no pushover. Tough team. And Eddie Howe's going to have one little beady eye on that. Okay? Because he doesn't, he's doing a bit better in the Champions League. He wants to progress a bit more there in the Premier League. They don't have the squad to do it. Conceding 6 goals in 2 games isn't good enough. They've not offered much threat. I think it's more than a comfortable game for City.
I'm going to pause you, though, before you give your prediction, right?
Go on.
How many goals have they conceded at home in their last 4 games in all competitions?
2.
1. They've played Fulham, Forest, Tottenham, and Athletic Club in those 4 home games. So that's what I mean about the Jekyll and Hyde. Like, away from home, they're awful, and I agree. At home, I do think it's different. Sorry. I'll ask you another question. How many goals away from home have City scored in their last 2 league games?
2.
1. Right. So I can use your saying like, let's just look at away and let's just look at home. But the difference is here, Newcastle's last 2 games were both away from home. And yeah, they shouldn't have let in 6 goals in those 2 games. But City's last 2 games away from home, they won 1-1-0 and they lost 1-1-0. So you can kind of flip it on its head, right? And City are away, Newcastle are at home. But anyway, yeah, go with your prediction. But it's just one thing I just wanted to share here that I do think Newcastle are a different beast at home.
Yeah, no, they are. They are. I think it's just going to be a little bit too much. I think City have got too much and motoring along. And you know what? This is where we kind of get that inflection point, Kieran, where we think Newcastle are, they're fairly kind of above water, kind of going in 2 different trajectories. Newcastle were, higher than City at kind of the start, and now they're meeting, and now Newcastle going down and City are going up. I don't mean down, obviously relegated, but I just mean, on the form guide, the form table, the form graph. For me, I think it's fairly comfortable. Like I put on the screen there, CH says this will be Haaland's 100th goal in Premier League. He's going to want to score it. He's going to want to score more than one at St James's Park. Captaincy, I'm not sure about. We will come on to that. But I think I just have to deliberate if Newcastle score or not. I think it's fairly comfortable. Do you know what? I don't think they do. I'm going to go 3-0 City. That's how I roll. It's back on to me, isn't it? Back on to me. Okay, Leeds. This is the first game on Sunday. There's 2 games on Sunday, I believe. Leeds, Aston Villa. Listen, I said a long time ago, Leeds were poor. And a few of the results at the start of the season kind of got people to think, oh, do you know what? They'll be all right. They'll be all right. But nah, it doesn't look good. Daniel Farke's looking like he's going to go soon. They're just conceding goals again and again and again. They can hardly score. I think, again, Villa, we're talking about an inflection point of teams kind of starting off okay and going down, and Villa starting off at the bottom and going up. We looked the other week about form. Villa have had a terrible start, but they are getting better. For me, again, I say this is fairly comfortable. I do think Leeds do score because Villa just seem to concede most of the games are not. But I still go comfortable. I go for 3-1 Villa, mate. With Morgan Rogers hopefully getting an assist this week.
Yeah, no, fair.
What are you thinking? Leeds are bad, aren't they? They're bad, man. They're shocking. They are shocking. Everyone's like, nah, they'll be all right. Nah, they're shocking, mate.
Yeah, but they probably will be all right, right? Because there's just worse teams than them, it feels like.
Possibly.
West Ham are worse than them. Wolves are worse than them.
West Ham won't go down. West Ham won't go down.
Why?
They've got a better manager for one. Nuno's a better manager than Farke.
Okay.
His record shows that. I just think I think they papered over the cracks. Listen,
but you're saying Nuno's a better manager, right?
Yeah.
How much money did Forest spend when they got promoted?
I mean, you can only do what's in front of you, though. You know what I mean?
Right, but what he's got in front of him is a completely different setup, right? When Forest got promoted, they spent like 250 mil. They were stupid. They signed 28 new players. 28. All over the place, right? No, I'm not saying it was him that signed it because I can't remember that, etc. But like they signed loads. They spent money like it was going out of fashion. And he's at a club that doesn't do that. He's at a club that sells some of their strongest players like Kudus, who have a complete over-reliance on Jared Bowen. If they're going to do anything, it'll be Jared Bowen. Ironically, they've scored 6 goals and Jared Bowen's not been involved in them recently. So you can look at that whichever way you want. But look, we're not talking about them. We're talking about Leeds. And yeah, Leeds are bad. Villa are good.
They only play play one way. He doesn't have another setup. He doesn't have another system.
Yeah, but they score, right. They go toe to toe with you. It just is the fact that when they go toe to toe with you, they've got DCL leading that toe, and he can't do much.
Yeah, and he's injured. I don't know if he's injured. It doesn't matter. He plays like he's injured anyway. But yeah, I mean, if I was better for them. Yeah, if I was Daniel Farke, I wouldn't have signed on a free. Okay, had like a few good seasons back in the day, but he's not played well for 2 seasons. I don't know why they got him, to be completely honest.
I'm just gonna
you coming around.
No, I'm just gonna fire out here. Leeds come out the block fast, but yeah, Villa do turn it around. I'm gonna go with a 3-1 Villa.
Oh, the same as. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing
Is that what you went
there.
for?
I went for 3-1 Villa, yeah. So I do
Oh,
think
don't
I
listen to
think it probably goes like Villa 1, Leeds equalise, and then like you're saying, it's a bit toe-to-toe, but they just get caught. You just don't have the quality man-to-man, and probably Watkins gets a goal. Foxy says, Foxy, good evening, mate. Good to see you. He says 2-0 Villa. Geddy says 3-1 Villa. His banker this week. Good odds, mate. There you go. There you go. Yeah, good to see you, Foxy. Right. Now, hey, well, look at that. It's almost as if we planned it, Kieran. Arsenal, Tottenham. You're on it first, mate. What a game, by the way. There's actually I'm in Scandinavia just now, and there is a Tottenham fan actually who works here. Very, very nice guy. So yeah, he'll be listening with bated breath for what you're going to say for this result, Kieran. And be nice. Be nice.
It's the perfect team for Arsenal to play when they need a bounce back after Sunderland, right? Like you don't need to get the players up for this game. You don't need to get the fans up for this game. This game just gets people up for it. It's a second-rate North London club come in to probably go on about how they won a second-rate European trophy, and they're going to leave the Emirates with a second-rate result. But they'll get a goal. They'll get a goal.
Oh, they'll get a goal.
Be like it always is with Spurs, right? When Spurs typically score, it's because one of their players who never scores another goal in his entire career scores a screamer from like 30 yards out in a hit and hope moment. So it'll be like a Bergvall or like one of their young kids or something does that, and they will be so hyped up about it, but they're going to lose like 3-1, so it won't matter. So yeah, I'm just going to go with the 3-1 Arsenal win. I don't see Arsenal losing this game or drawing, but I do see them conceding.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially with Gabriel, listen, they've got a very, very good squad, but yeah, it has to have a little bit of an effect. And I was thinking, Kieran, even if Gabriel wasn't out, it'd be tough for Arsenal to keep that defensive run anyway. Do you know what I mean? To stay in that through obviously Europe and all that kind of stuff. It's funny you say Bergvall because the gentleman who's watching tonight, Shuriken, he is Swedish. So maybe subconsciously, you know that. I actually do rate him. He obviously came off for concussion protocol the other day, and it was quite right because he was in the he was nowhere. He didn't know where he was, even though he didn't want to come off. He had to come off. Yeah, this one again for me. This one's a little bit like maybe the Brighton Brentford game in terms of people. People are quick to just jump in with this one. I'm going to look at this a little bit more. And listen, Arsenal are very strong. Tottenham haven't been scoring much and playing well recently, but these are the kind of games that it kind of changes our mind. Or as we're watching it, we're like, oh, do you know what? They're playing okay. Do I stop at Arsenal winning? Tottenham winning? Yeah, of course. I don't think Tottenham will win, especially when they're away. Do I think Arsenal will win? It's not fully set. It's not fully set. And I actually think it will be a draw. I just have to think if I go 2-2 for a little Desi or 1-1. I don't think Tottenham have got two in them. It could be a barnstormer of a Desmond, the 2-2. I'll bring it down a bit. And I'm actually going to go 1-1, mate. I'm going to go draw 1-1. I think it'll be that kind of game. Let's see what else. CH has gone 2-1 Arsenal. Just while Kieran comes back. Geddy's gone 4-1 Arsenal. Yeah, I get it. I get the goals. Maybe they're motoring. Maybe they're motoring along. Com says so they can Scandinavian. I like it. I like it. Yeah, yeah. Kieran, if you're back with us, mate. If not, I'll start anyway because I'm going to Man United, Everton. Yeah, and chat, help me out a bit with this one. Usually Claire's in there, Colm's in there, Podger's in there. It's difficult. Man United, Everton. Man United are a lot better at home than they are away. Bruno, fantastic performance of the day. Absolutely fantastic performance of the day. Um, I'm just laughing because Kieran said in the chat, I let him talk about Scotland for 10 minutes and then he insults Arsenal. Outrageous. Come back, Kieran. Come back. I promise. And I said to you, be nice. There's a Tottenham fan watching tonight. You know the funny thing? That was Kieran being nice. That was him being nice tonight. But yeah, Man United Everton, put in the chat what you think it is. It's a difficult one. I think Man United will have too much. I do. I think they'll have too much. Do I think Everton score? Yes, I do. After the international break, be a little bit tired, a little bit stretched. I think they score 2-1 or 3-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Man United, Kieran. I'm going to go a little Embuemo winner is what I'm going to do. Oh, and we've got obviously the specialist in the chat, mate, Geddy. Geddy's gone for a naughty little 4-3. Once we take Casemiro off, we always concede at least 2 goals. Yeah, it's funny because Man United fans now think Casemiro's like the GOAT again, Kieran, don't they? They can't make their mind up. He's rubbish.
You know what?
No, he's good. No, he's rubbish.
I don't think this will happen, but I'd love for it to happen. So I'm going to say it just in case it does. United have drawn their last 2 Premier League games 2-2. Could you imagine if they had a third 2-2? I don't think they will because because both of those were away from home. I was going to go 2-1 as well, annoyingly, but I don't want to have 3 scores the same as you.
Well, I did get a lot right last week, so you know.
Yeah, shut up.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna martingale it and I'm gonna double it and go 4-2.
4-2, eh?
To United, just to clarify, in case you
yeah.
You didn't say which team, so I put it down for Everton.
I mean, David Moyes could be on there. Jack Grealish might be ripping up a little bit. Yeah, 4-2. Eddie's gone 3-0 Man United. And Geddy's he's gone 4-3. Right, okay, on to teams then. We're going to get this just over an hour, Kieran. I like it. Right, this is my team. I've not made any any transfers yet. I've got 1 free transfer to make. Petrovic and Senesi double up for West Ham. Munoz and LaCroix double up. Chalobah at Burnley. Midfield, they got Rodgers, Saka, Eze, and Reinders. Pedro and Haaland up top. Defence and up top, I'm fairly, I'm not going to take, obviously, Burnley out. Haaland's not coming out. I'm fairly happy with Saka and Eze. Actually, in the North London derby, I think it's a game where Saka and Eze could do something. Eze's been fairly unlucky, actually, recently. He's had chances. He's just not taking them. Rodgers is going nowhere. On the bench, I've got Gakpo, Gabriel, and Mark Guay. Obviously, Gabriel's injured. I think Gakpo's probably going to come in. He's probably going to come in for Reinders. But the other thing I'm thinking of is I'm not too happy with the Bournemouth double up. I think West Ham could get a goal. Is it enough to move one? I don't think it's. I just think I'd just get another free transfer. I just keep it behind and wait for next week. I've still got bench boost, so I still have to build a little bit to my bench boost, and I don't want to take many hits. So I think I'm just gonna put in Gakpo and roll it, mate. To be honest, nothing crazy. Prod says, am I happy with Eze? You said at the top of the hour, Kieran, he's only got 1 return in 4, but he is still he's getting the right positions, he's just not finishing. He's had the chances, he's just not finishing.
Do you know what he needs? Do you know what he needs? He needs Phil Foden to give him a perfect pass.
He does. I think there is one person on my mind, though, is I think I need a United player. Prod just put in there Bruno in for Eze. I do want Bruno, mate. He is starting to play well. And yeah, if he even looks in the direction of the goal, he's getting 15 bonus points, mate. But whether I bring him in or not this week.
Shane, you can't bring him in because then what are you going to complain about each week?
I'll find something. Well, there'll be no more complaining each week. And do you know why? Scotland are qualified. I'm not really bothered, mate. Although I say that this week, I'll be like, that was necessary. So yeah, set up. What do you think, Kieran? Just a quick gander. What do you think? Good bits, bad bits. Anyone you would take out?
Yeah, if I were you, I'd be making sure I've got a Scottish player in my team this week, mate.
Oh, could that be my Liverpool player? Could it? Andy Robertson.
Oh, that's dreadful, isn't it?
Too far.
That's a dreadful idea.
Yeah.
All of the good Scottish players have left the Premier League, haven't they? To be fair.
No grass, mate. He used to be a legend. Right, okay, on to your team, mate.
Yeah, so I did a move already. I yeeted Voltemada out of my team for Thiago because I just was kicking myself for not going Thiago way earlier. Ooh. Don't necessarily think it's the best game week for him, but it's more... Look, I was always of like the 5-4-1 formation, right? And of the opinion that Thiago's a second striker, not a third striker. And I was just tempted by Voltemada. He just tempted me too much that I went there when I bought in Sarr and didn't get Mateta. And the interesting thing, and I'll go back to it, but when I was trying to sort of go, if you remove Mateta's outlier game of that Bournemouth one, look, Voltemada is just as good as him. Well, I did that analysis, and it just jumped off the page that Thiago was the best pick, but I just ignored it and stuck with Voltemada. So yeah, I've kind of corrected that, got Thiago into my team. Look, I don't expect Palace to keep a clean sheet, but Lequara and Munoz I'm happy with. Double Bournemouth defence, it's going to be good over the next 4 game weeks, so just being able to spike that double clean sheet again in a couple of those will be nice. Could be West Ham, might not be, not too fast. Mukiele, I think, could have a really good game week against Fulham, to be honest. Yes. I'm hoping for a double-digit return for him again, because that would be mental. Because we know Dan Ballard gets them at home, and Mukiele gets them away from home. So, yeah, one to monitor.
Yeah, I was looking about Dan Ballard, yeah.
At the moment, I'm benching Eza in favour of Cody Gakpo. There are a couple of things I was looking at. I'm still tempted to bring Buendia into my team. But I wanted him last week, and I'm trying to figure out if it's the right move. I am also tempted to bring Virgil in for Gabriel and start him over Gakpo, right? But that was always the plan. Like, I had him in for these 4 game weeks anyway. Like, he was one of those options. Because similar to you, I've got to pay my bench boost in the next 4 game weeks. And being able to play it or 4 or 5 game weeks, being able to play it with Van Dijk with a good fixture, it's just the perfect time to do it. Because I've still got wildcard in hand. So that's why it's slightly different for me, where I can just dump him and other people out as soon as I'm done with it. So that's why he's an even more appealing option for me. But the problem is no, it's not a problem, actually, because I was going to bring him in next week if I don't bring him in this week. There's 2 defenders that I wanted next week when I was looking at it. And I wanted to bring in Virgil van Dijk from next week. But more importantly, I wanted O'Reilly from next week. I really want Nico O'Reilly. Like, I know everyone's high on him at the moment, and it makes perfect sense, right? He's been starting consistently for Man City. I expect Nuri will get a couple of games before he pisses off to AFCON. Like, here you are, have a few games, then off you go. So there is an element of risk there, but it's just cheap and fun. And again, just plays into the bench boost strategy that I'm looking at to kind of keep it open for a few different game weeks. So, look, that other transfer might be used to bring in Virgil, might be something else. I don't know who I'm going to captain. Really don't know who I'm going to captain.
Or just put in here, what about Mukiele? Against Fulham, don't score much. No?
no, I'm not against it, but just like, could you like? That's the kind of stuff that I normally did, though, right? Like, if we look at when was Sheffield United in the Premier League? That was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I captained a Sheffield United player 3 times that season. I captained Ben Brereton Diaz twice and Cameron Archer once.
I remember that.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that's like 8% of my captaincy choices went on a frigging Brentford player. Sorry, not a Brentford, a Sheffield United player. It's just there's having fun with a punt, and there's also like when you look back at it, it doesn't matter if they had the easiest game that week. Like a player with a bad game week is probably better than going for some of those. So again, I don't disagree with Proj. I think Mukiele could do well. Okay. But if he doesn't, I would just feel so stupid for like punting on him. I'd be more tempted by Munoz, to be honest with you, because if he does spike the clean sheet and get an attack and return, you're laughing. I'd probably just keep it on Haaland, but I don't think he's the best option this week.
Who, Haaland?
Yeah, I don't think he's the best captain option, but I think I'm just going to stick with him.
It's got to be a midfielder, innit? It's got to be a midfielder you put it on.
Yeah, but I don't like any of my midfielders for captaincy.
What about Saka?
No,
not feeling it.
It's not about not feeling it. It's about like Sarr? They played Jed Spence. They played.
I mean, I was maybe looking at getting Sarr and taking Minders out because I can do that in one move.
Yeah, but Palace away from home aren't the same as they are at home in terms of like the upside and goal threat.
Yeah, to be fair, we did say they don't score many. I think. Yeah, it's tough. I think for me, I think I think, like I said, City are gonna.
Saka's an option. Saka is an option, right? Like Saka's definitely an option. Like, when am I going to captain him? North London derby, the narrative's good for it as well. I don't know. I'll be thinking about it. Like, we know he's definitely on penalties because Gok is probably still out as well. Kai's had a setback. Jesus is probably back on the bench, so he'll get some minutes, I imagine, off the bench. But yeah, I don't know. Not sure what I'll do, but happy with the Thiago move. Just not sure what my other transfer will be.
Yeah, no, it's a good team, mate. It's a good team. I think, like you're saying, we've both kind of been ahead of the curve on a lot of like players that people are getting to. Obviously, you, the rank you're at just now, more than myself, but we're still always ahead of the curve, which is good. And I think this season, more than ever, we've had this discussion. People in the chat have had it already. People are moving to more data, and that's fine. Data is useful, but you have to watch games as well, because the stuff that data doesn't show you or can be misconstrued. And I think we've kind of lost that a little bit this season. I think people are maybe watching slightly less. Again, it's person to person, but we'd be more bothered about XG than how that individual played in the game or the chances they had. So I think that does come into play. But I like the team, mate. I think it's a good team. I've been looking at Mukiele. I did like Dan Ballard, mate, because he's been on one. And Fulham, not the best with crosses. As Anderson,
but he does it at home, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
I think all of Dan Ballard's are at home, weirdly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like, obviously, if you had,
I'd agree though.
Mukiele, you played him.
If I had Mbumo or Bruno, then they would be my captaincy choice.
Yeah, and that's what I think Cameron or Geddy put in the chat. But no, it's a good team. It's a good team. Right, guys and girls, drop any questions in the chat, and we will start going through them. Right, Kieran, Eddie, straight up, mate. I got 1 free transfer, 2.7 to spend, very flush. What to do with the team? Raya Gabriel for Arsenal double up. Obviously, he's injured, so he's out. Senesi, Richards, Fernandes, Semenyo, Sarr, Enzo, Haaland, Mateta, Welbeck. Nice. Sub Dubravka, Mukiele. So we'll probably bring Mukiele in, I would imagine, for Gabriel, King, and Tarkovsky. What would you do? I think it's looking a bit more role, isn't it? That's actually a really good team.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. I think Enzo probably doesn't start. So it's just a case of, are you happy with like Tarkovsky coming in against United or King? If you're not, then maybe it is time to do that Gabriel transfer to a defender that you think's good and have them either starting this week or on your bench this week. As much as Shane doesn't like it, you know, Liverpool defenders are good options. City defenders will be good options. Like, maybe go into that other Arsenal defender if you want to stay in that double up. If you're going to go with any Arsenal defender just for security of minutes, I think it is Calafiori, because I think there's debates going on amongst the Arsenal fan base who comes in for Gabriel, and a lot of people think it will be Mosquera.
Yeah, that's who's been coming in for them, isn't it?
No, he's been coming in for Saliba more. Like so this whole thing, right? He's a right-footed centre back, and Gabriel's a left-footed centre back, and Arteta is very passionate about having one of each foot playing in your centre-back pairing. Piero Hincapié was injured when Mosquera was deputising into that and needed time to ramp up into it. And Hincapié cost 3 times as much as Mosquera did. Right, this is like the Bayern Leverkusen left back. So I'm not saying Hincapié will play in that position, but we know that Calafiori by trade is a centre back, like a left-sided centre back more than a left back. So I think probably what we see happening is that Calafiori pushes in, and Hincapié and Lewis Skelly share the minutes as the left back option. So the one secure person would be Hincapié.
That's interesting.
Saliba will probably see some rest for Mosquera with the fixture running or the congestion. And, you know, Ben White will probably see a couple of games for Timber. So, yeah, for me personally, Calafiori would be the most secure Arsenal defender if you did want to look at doing that swap. But outside of that, I do agree with what Shane said there. I think it's a role. It's just a case of, are you okay with 1 or 2 points from Enzo or King or Tarkovsky coming on in place?
Yeah, Roger's talking about replacements for Gabriel. Have you got, I mean, obviously, people are going to VVD. Some people are talking about Cash. Listen, Cash is on the same trajectory as some FPL trolls have been in the past, like Luca Digne. I'd stay clear of Cash, but you know that's just my opinion. O'Reilly, like you said, Kieran, I've been looking at O'Reilly. I like him a lot. People are about Brentford defender. I mean, they do have they've got Burnley, but then they've got Liverpool coming up. I wouldn't be too high on them, and they're still conceding goals. Maybe Collins. Yeah, I get it. He's maybe due a goal, but is there anyone else that's not on that list, Kieran, that you would swap Gabriel for, apart from the Virgil van Dijk and O'Reilly?
I think I don't know Brighton's fixtures off the top of my head, but I think like Van Hecker is just an interesting one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, nice. Eddie says, "This is my squad. Who do I need to get one? Who do I need to get one free transfer?" Oh, he said that.
That's the same question, mate.
Just checking, double checking. Captain Ahmed Abdallah. What a name, by the way. Dubravka, Cash, Rodon, O'Reilly, Salah, Mbuemo, King, Doku. Nice. I've not seen many Dokus, actually. Haaland, Mateta, Yao Pedro. That's nice. Bench, Semenyo, Keane. I think he's just telling his team, mate. It's a good team.
Yeah.
He's just flexing, mate. I like it, mate. Big fan. Go on.
I was going to say he's done it again after, hasn't he? So yeah, take it off again.
Oh, he's got it here. Yeah, just rate it. He said
you need to just not star this like 5 times, Shane. Like Jesus, I've unstarred them all now.
I'm trying to keep track.
And just guys, when you are watching us, like we will star the questions as they come through. You don't need to sort of send it in a couple of times. Feel free to ask the chat what they think on it, but again, like just try and avoid spamming it in there because we don't have that many people in here, so it will kind of then just clog the little bit of chat we have. But we would always answer.
Well, mate, Cameron Starr says he's on a free hit this week. No Haaland, going to be a fun one. Hey, could pay off. Newcastle is a hard fixture. Cameron has also asked, he's on the free hit. Going Pedro Mateta. Who do you think I should go with my third? Ekitike or Thiago? Obviously, you're talking to a man who's just brought in Thiago and Kieran. What do you think, mate? Apparently, he scored a worldie for France tonight, Ekitike.
Yeah, on a free hit, I'd be going Ekitike. Just way more exciting, right? Better fixture at home, way more exciting. Like higher upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go more for that. Like I think Thiago's just like a safe option, but are you expecting Brentford to score 2 goals away from home? I'd be more tempted by him if he was at home than with him away from home. Whereas Ekitike just tempts me.
Yeah, more ceiling. Yeah, I agree. This is one for Colm.
One final thing on that, Shane.
Go on.
On a free hit, with everything we know this season, how many strikers would you play?
Who are you thinking?
How many strikers would you play on a free hit?
I mean, it's just 1 week. It's 1 week, so you could have 3 in there. But what 3 you going for? I'd be more inclined to play an extra midfielder over a striker. But I think
that's it, or an extra defender, right? As in, like strikers are the lowest performing position this season. So on 1 week, you're really hoping that you get it right on the only week where that changes. So yeah, just more of that point as well. I'd say, Cameron, that like Ekitike or something more boring. But no, on the free hit, definitely free hits. You need to do it your way. 100%, you need to play it your way. He and I had a chat about Haaland, where I'm also of the opinion if I think Haaland's going to be the 5th highest scorer this game week, sure, I'm not going to captain him. But if I've got him if I'm going on a free hit, I'm still going to have him because I think he'll get the 5th highest amount of points, and I'll still want that regardless.
Yeah, I think people,
But I agree with people who don't go with it on their free hit, where they're like, do you know what? I'm going to go fully against him because they will only suffer for 1 week if I'm wrong. But if I'm right,
it's a good point. Good. It's a good point. I think people need to maybe reconsider, by the way, not captaining Haaland this weekend. I really, really do. Colm says, does the double pivot hate Fulham? No, we don't, Colm. We don't. We just wish they were better. I'm sorry,
Colm. Sorry. Like, one thing I would say, right, is if I could have a third team in London, it would be Fulham. Right. I say third because Arsenal were the first team. Barnet is my affinity for
second.
Oh, fuck yourself. Barnet as the one that I grew up with. You can debate whether or not they're London as much as you want, but I'll classify them as it because their stadium's in Edgware, and you can debate if Edgware's in London, but given it's where I was born, it absolutely is, so I win. But Fulham, like my 2 of my closest mates are Fulham fans, right? Since I've known for like 30 years. And also, when I worked at Betfair, when I graduated, is when Fulham were in the UEFA League. And I went to the majority of their home games during that because Betfair were one of their sponsors. So I got to enjoy Fulham doing really well in the Europa League and getting all the way to the final. So, yeah, definitely an affinity towards them. but that doesn't mean that I think they're good.
Com says, while we're on Com, I took out Eze and Grealish for Mbuemo and Buendia. No, he's going with a little Buendia pun from you. I'm going to bench Gabriel and play Semenyo and hope he either starts or misses out. I think it's a good option. I don't think he plays. You said that already, Kieran, didn't you?
I wonder why Colm's confused to put a question mark at the end of that. That just sounds like a great statement, rather than him being confused by it.
I like it, man. I like it. Prod says, Defcon Daddy over Thiago or Ekitike. For me, no. I think the tide's starting to turn a little bit. And like Kieran saying, I'd probably go Ekitike. He's got more upside. What would you play? More Defcon Daddy?
Well, this game week, I personally wouldn't have the striker choices Cameron does, but that's absolutely fine, right? Like, yeah. Ekitike would probably be my second striker choice this game week, to be honest with you. So I'd probably still have him in. But I'd definitely be playing 5-3-2 or 4-5-1.
Yeah.
Or
you go for
4-5-2 or like 5-4-1 rather. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, me personally, I'd rarely have three strikers. Is all I'm saying. Like for me personally,
no, I get you. I get especially this season.
I get why people would on a free hit as well. Like I see the pros and cons. I think free hit is the one where you definitely play it your way and where your gut is.
And then lastly, Prod said, "Who's the best Brentford asset excluding Thiago?" I seen that, and for me, I think it's Thiago or nothing really. To be fair, I know Damsgaard's a bit cheaper, but especially with this international, he's been away. He's been away getting battered by Scotland, so he's probably not going to play well at the weekend. No, I wouldn't be looking at anybody else. Is there anyone else you'd be looking at, Kieran? I know people might say defenders, but it might
if I was to go for a defender, I'd be going for Coyote, right? Because he's the only long thrower that can actually throw it and get an assist from it. Everyone else is throwing it for the knock on. Coyote's like launching it. So yeah, Coyote would be one that I'd be tempted by if I was looking at a Brentford defender.
I like it.
In fact, I also would look at interesting on Brentford because I have considered for my bench boost they align quite nicely for one of the weeks I'm planning, and the challenge is right. Dango Uwatara gets on the end of absolutely everything.
He's a unit, mate,
and he tries to header all of it, but he can't header for shit. Like he's one of the worst headers of the ball I've seen. It goes the opposite place to where his head's facing. Like he's like I am, right? I'm not a good header. I close my eyes with it. I'm 6 foot tall. I should be able to header a football. But I kind of, no, I don't want to hit this and let it just bounce off my head. And that's what he does. But he gets all the chances. And then on the flip side, Kevin Sharder is like an absolute beast, an incredible unit. And when he gets a chance, he buries it. But he doesn't get as many chances as Dango Uwatara. So I'm going to be monitoring both of them over the coming game weeks because I think I'll end up with one of them for a couple of weeks. So again, like I'm not writing off Brentford's attack. Like you can get the right one at the right time. It's definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, no, that's it. And that was the last question tonight. All I'll do is bring this up again. Like we say, we're trying to get to 1K before Christmas. It'll be absolutely fantastic. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Leave a comment below after the show. It'll be fantastic. And it's good to actually chat. One, it gives me something to do, and it's good. People either saying I'm wrong or usually one of the other, to be fair. But yeah, Kieran, it's been good. I know you like the Scotland flag on that, mate. It's going well this season already for us. It's going better for you anyway. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Proj, Cameron, Geddy, Eddie, Colm, Jackie, Captain Ahmed, absolutely everyone. Thanks very much for joining. Yeah, Kieran, you close the show, mate. And good luck this game week. And I'll see you on Friday for the fixture decoder. Bye-bye.
Well done.